At a town hall in Watertown, Pennsylvania over the weekend, a college student asked Ohio Republican governor and presidential candidate John Kasich what he would do as president to make young women like her feel safer on campus. And this is a reference to questions of campus rape and sexual assault. I'm going to play Kasich's answer for you. Some people are angry with Kasich because they feel that he was victim blaming in his answer by suggesting that the student should not go to parties with alcohol. Some people feel that Kasich was just offering sort of pragmatic advice about how to avoid getting into situations where you might be the victim of a sexual assault or rape. Let's take a listen and then we'll discuss.
We think that when you enroll, you ought to absolutely know that if something happens to you along the lines of sexual harassment or whatever, you have a place to go where there is a confidential reporting, where there is an ability for you to access a rape kit, where that is kept confidential, but where it gives you the opportunity to be able to pursue justice after you have had some time to reflect on it all. And we are in a process of making sure that all higher education in our state, and this ought to be done in the country, that our co-eds know exactly what the rules are, what the opportunities are, what the confidential policies are, so that you are not vulnerable, at risk, and can be preyed upon. I have two 16-year-old daughters, and I don't even like to think about it, you know.
It's sad that it's something that I have to worry about just walking.
Well, I also give you one bit of advice. Don't go to parties where there's a lot of alcohol. Okay, don't do that.
Some of this makes a lot of sense. I mean, access to rape kits absolutely makes sense. Feeling like you're able to make these reports confidentially and reducing the stigma and possible backlash. A lot of this stuff made a lot of sense. And then he got to avoid parties with alcohol. Maybe he should have also suggested wearing a suit of armor or a beekeeper's suit to not attract the attention of men. Okay, so this is a great opportunity to point out the sort of spectrum between victim blaming and reasonable precautions that people should take. Let's look at this specific thing here, okay? College student asks what to do regarding sexual assault. Kasich says, don't go to parties with a lot of alcohol. On one side of the spectrum, the full victim blaming approach would be, if you go to a party with alcohol or wear anything exposing your ankles even, you are to blame for being raped. And John Kasich did not say that. Let's be very clear. The opposite side of this is you should socialize like a normal person, dress the way you like, but be cautious about walking home alone late at night or ending up in places alone where you don't know anybody, have an agreement with a friend to check in on each other, whatever. That would be a sort of, take reasonable precautions, but you should absolutely be able to drink whatever you want or be wherever you want or whatever. This is sort of in the middle, right? Because of the absurdity of being a college student and being told do not go to parties with alcohol. This is a little bit in the middle. Is it a practical piece of advice, Lewis, to say, hey, great, co-ed, you're coming to school, don't go to parties with alcohol? That's the reasonable way to stay safe. It's just not pragmatic or realistic.
No, you could take it to the next level and say, listen, if you want to avoid this at all costs, you can go to your classes during the day, and then when you're done, lock yourself in your dorm and never leave.
That's right.
So it seems unnecessary, and to tell college students not to go to parties with alcohol, it just seems silly.
And the other thing is, if you're going to go that way, at what point is it okay for women to go to parties where there's alcohol, right? I mean, hey, whoa, you're now out of college, you're 24 now, and you're going to that Chamber of Commerce mix and mingle where there are going to be people drinking, right? I would avoid that. I would avoid that party with alcohol. Or, hey, now you're 32 and you've got a kid and you're taking your kid to the bowling alley and there's a bar in the bowling alley where the parents are hanging out. There's a lot of alcohol there. I don't think the avoid parties with alcohol thing is realistic, but I also think it's sort of an absurd suggestion that this is the way for women to go through life, which is if there's going to be alcohol at any point that you might be showing up alone, that's when you have to realize that's not the place to go. So is Kasich the worst offender? No. And we should all praise Kasich, by the way, that he didn't go full right-wing loon on this. And he said a lot of the right things here in terms of the reporting, in terms of the rape kits, all of those things. So I would put this in the middle. I don't think this is the worst offender by any means, but there's definitely something a little concerning about just don't go to parties with alcohol.
Well, what do you expect? We're going to get some of that typical right-wing rhetoric.
It is a Republican governor from Ohio, after all. Send me your thoughts on this. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Warby Parker is offering a free 5-day home try-on to give you the opportunity to check out their glasses. I personally wear Warby Parker glasses when I'm not wearing my contact lenses, and I also started with one of these free at-home try-ons of 5 pairs of glasses. You can get your free home try-on and support the David Pakman Show at warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS. I don't really like going into glasses stores and trying on glasses while the salesperson sort of hovers over me, and I like more than 30 seconds to actually figure out whether I like the glasses. So with the Warby Parker home try-on, I was able to pick 5 pairs that I liked, put them on in the comfort of my own home, pick the one I like the most, and then Warby Parker put my prescription lenses in there for me. A lot of people don't know that the eyeglass industry is controlled by just a few big corporations that keep prices very high, like $300 for prescription glasses high, which is just insane. Warby Parker glasses start at $95. That's what mine cost. And for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need. You can try 5 pairs and see what you like. Check out the at-home trial and support our show by going to warbyparker.com/TDPS. It costs nothing.